If you are a practice administrator, a healthcare provider, or are responsible for insurance for a healthcare organization, one thing you should do right now is go find your cyber liability policy so you can determine if it is a pay on behalf of or a reimbursement policy. Because chances are your agent has not communicated that to you. And chances are that agent that you work with may not know that there is a difference between these two types of policies. Just like medical professional liability, cyber liability policies are significantly different depending on the policy itself or the carrier who provides it. And the difference I want to talk about today is that difference between a pay on behalf of and reimbursement policy. A pay on behalf of policy functions very similarly to most of the other insurance policies that you pay for. If you have a claim and it's covered, all of the costs associated with that claim are paid on your behalf by your insurance carrier. You might have a retention or a deductible that you're responsible for, but if you have a reimbursement policy, you're on your own for all of those costs. You have to pay out of pocket for every cost related to that claim and then file for reimbursement from your carrier. They could push back on costs that you've incurred or try to say that you overspent, could have found a better deal had you looked a little bit harder. And who knows how quickly they're going to get you paid. This is why it is a huge difference, because many healthcare providers see thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of patients every year, and you're required to keep records for a certain amount of time. So when you're breached, every single person whose data may have been compromised is required by law to receive notification of that. You are then required by law to provide or offer free credit monitoring for 1 year to all of these potentially impacted individuals. But the cost doesn't stop there. You usually have to pay for a forensic investigation, and these are experts. Their hourly rate is not cheap. That could be a very expensive process as well. And if you're the victim of a ransomware attack, where all of your data is essentially wiped from your systems and you have to pay a ransom to get it back, again, that's coming out of your pocket. And depending on the size of your organization, that could be millions of dollars, because these cyber criminals are extremely savvy. They know how to get into your systems undetected, or if they don't, they're going to try to figure it out. And before you receive any sort of alert or notification that you've been breached, they've been able to analyze your revenue stream, how much cash flow you have, how many patients you see, and that's how they come up with their ransom demands. Not only that, but most ransoms, if not all ransoms, are not cash or US currency, but it's Bitcoin that they are demanding that you send them because it is untraceable. Now, I don't know about your organization, but I don't think any of my clients are out there day trading cryptocurrency and have their own wallet and exchange where they go and buy this cryptocurrency from. But even if they do, they still have to do that on their own and then send that off to the cyber criminals, hoping that their coverage is going to be enough to recoup that cost when they file for reimbursement with the carrier. If you have questions, if you're not sure if your cyber liability policy is the right fit for you, if it's a pay on behalf of or a reimbursement policy and your agent hasn't communicated these differences or your policy details to you thoroughly, feel free to reach out and give me a call. I'd love to give you more information, because with more information, you become a better buyer and more empowered buyer when it comes to your insurance coverage, and that is only going to yield the best results possible.